NBC4 News at 11 starts with breaking news.
That breaking news is a tragedy in the sky above Washington, D.C. A passenger plane carrying 64 people and a military helicopter collided in midair. Tonight, the recovery mission underway in the Potomac River. Here's a live look from near Reagan National Airport. You can see dozens of emergency vehicles and boats in the water searching for people who were on board those aircraft. So far, there are no known survivors. The plane was on final approach into the airport from Wichita, Kansas, when the collision happened. The Black Hawk helicopter was on a training flight for the U.S. Army. We have live team coverage tonight. Robert Kovacic is live at LAX, but we'll start with Darsha Phillips in the newsroom with the latest on this investigation. Darsha.
Yeah, Kathy, there was a press conference that wrapped up about an hour ago, and officials at the press conference not saying if there were any survivors, and they're not saying if any bodies have been found. But a source close to the search operation told our NBC station in Washington that more than a dozen bodies have been recovered. The search efforts are continuing, but officials say it is challenging because of the temperature and the depth of the water.
The collision caught on EarthCam, the small light in the middle of the screen, a Black Hawk Army helicopter on a routine training flight with 3 crew on board. The larger light, an American Airlines plane with 60 passengers and 4 crew on board. The two collide in midair. Right before the collision, air traffic control was trying to make contact with the Black Hawk.
Pass 25, get CRJ in flight. Pass 25, pass 100 CRJ. American 472, Washington, 1 star, 3Q017. Did you see that?
The American Airlines plane, similar to the one pictured here, took off from Wichita, Kansas, and was approaching Reagan National Airport around 9 p.m. Eastern. Pilots in planes at Reagan Airport witnessed the explosion in the sky and the 2 aircraft crashing into the Potomac.
Delta 32, sorry. I don't know if you caught earlier what happened, but there was a collision on the approach in the 3-3. We're going to be shutting down operations for the indefinite future if you want to go back to the gate.
Yeah, we witnessed the whole thing. You need the information from us.
And I've flown those routes thousands of times.
Ron Alvarado is a commercial pilot and retired Marine Corps helicopter pilot who has flown Black Hawks.
Pilots know what altitude they need to fly. They know what direction they need to go, but it can be very complicated when it's nighttime.
Alvarado says Black Hawk helicopters are usually staffed with 4 crew at night to help them see and avoid air traffic, and are also in contact with control towers and can perform maneuvers to avoid a collision.
The pilot can slow down the aircraft. They can go lower as well. If they can't see the other aircraft, the other jet, they could also do a 180, make a right turn, left turn, and get away from the flight path.
Rescue crews and divers are in the Potomac searching for survivors. Officials say the debris field is expansive and the water temperatures are a frigid 35 degrees.
And we're learning there were several people at Reagan National Airport waiting to pick up their loved ones who were on that passenger flight from Wichita. They right now are meeting with a care team at the airport. The mission, as of an hour ago, was still a rescue mission. However, again, we have no word on any survivors. Live in the newsroom tonight, I'm Darsha Phillips, NBC4 News.
Darsha, thank you. We're going to continue our team coverage of the midair crash in D.C. NBC4's Robert Kovacic is live at LAX tonight. Robert, you're getting reaction to the crash from travelers.
Not just any travelers, Kathy, but travelers from D.C. Imagine, if you will, these are passengers who are on a plane from Reagan National, a plane without any satellite TV, so they couldn't watch any live events. We were with some of them after they had just learned what happened.
The last flight of the night from Reagan National to LAX arrives, and those on board seem to be among the last to know.
As we got service at DC, here at LAX, the first thing that pops up in my news highlight is the crash.
We only heard when we landed. We got texts from family back home. Our son texted and asked if we were okay. But in the air, we didn't hear anything about it.
Here at the baggage claim, their phones fill them in.
Still processing it. I'm still processing it. Coming down the escalator, I was processing it.
Myron Fields, who lives just minutes from Reagan, processing what happened at his hometown airport just hours after his American Airlines flight took off for L.A.
I'm heartbroken for those who are affected by this. I'm also grateful to have missed such an accident.
LAX making headlines just 1 month ago. Air traffic control had to intervene when a plane carrying the Gonzaga men's basketball team neared the runway where another plane was set to take off. The result, only a near miss. Now it is here tonight at LAX, where for some vacationers, thoughts turn to home.
I live in the D.C. area and retired Army, so I feel for the three soldiers that are apparently on the Black Hawk, and hopefully we'll find out soon.
And for those who will be boarding once again,
Reluctant to get back in the air?
Yeah.
Reluctance to fly a tad bit. However, the reality is that there's danger everywhere.
Well, I mean, I'm more concerned about driving around in LA traffic. I mean, it's, anybody that's got any sense knows that airline travel is 1,000 times safer than driving to the grocery store.
Now, as far as those who are planning to travel to D.C., Reagan National, according to the FAA, is not set to reopen until 8 o'clock in the morning, our time. Live here at LAX, I'm Robert Kovacic. Kathy?
All right, Robert, thank you. And from just one video vantage point of the crash so far, it is hard to tell how these aircraft were traveling before the crash. Doug Kammerer, the chief meteorologist of NBC4 in Washington, gave this helpful perspective.
If this had made its way on land, there would have been a huge fireball there. But because it made it